feel, you know, when you're a school's chancellor, to see 1,000 kids on a Saturday afternoon serious about education, you got to pinch yourself, I'll tell you. And in fact, one of the real joys, you just talked about this program being the gold standard, and one of our students decided in honor of that to paint his hair gold, and I'm really proud of that young man. Stand up so you show everybody what I'm talking about. Come on, stand up. This is the gold standard. Let me start just by thanking a few people, because this doesn't happen without really committed, dedicated people who want to make it happen, who believe that urban education really needs to change, and that we got to set entirely different standards, and we got to support our students in reaching those standards. First of all, I want to thank Baruch College for hosting us. They've done this last year, this year. It's a terrific thing. President of Baruch is with us, Kathleen. We really appreciate your support. I want to thank my friend Whitney Tilson. It was his idea to do this. He doesn't have to do that. He got together with Bill Ackman, who's funded it, a friend of his, who's put the money into this and been financially supportive, even in these tough financial times, and believe me, these times are tough. I want to thank Taurus Richardson and the Council of Urban Professionals. They've been a big part of sponsoring and supporting this. I want to thank Eddie for running it. Eddie is an inspiration to me every time I see him. And I want to thank particularly one of our assembly people. You know, these guys have a lot of things to do and a lot of events to go to. And I'm really proud that Hakeem Jeffries came here to be with us today. Can you stand up so everybody see you, Hakeem? We're going to hear from him. He's a model of what you can do. I've heard him talk. You're going to be inspired when he talks. You know, his district is in central Brooklyn, pretty much overlaps School District 13 there. But I think he is truly an inspiration. And that's what today and this is all about. You know, Eddie said it, so I don't want to repeat it. But let's be truthful. What's going on globally and what's going on in this economy is going to put greater demands on you. And the thing about the AP program is it insists on excellence at an early age. Sure, you can get the credits for college, and sure, you want to get the money. But it also insists on and gets your head around excellence. And that's why on a Saturday afternoon, and over the next several months, working, and I saw so many of our teachers and principals who are here working with you, supporting you, what they are saying is we can set the bar higher and you can meet it. And particularly I'm pleased because look around you, this is as diverse an audience of kids, right? We've got kids from every corner of the city, every color, every financial and economic background, 31 schools, 3,500 kids participating, 3,000 in this particular set of Saturday programs, all reflecting setting the bar higher. And in New York City, stop apologizing like so many people have for why it is that kids aren't making it. You know how many times I've heard from people, you know, Chancellor, we'll never fix education until we fix poverty. Let me tell you the truth. We will never fix poverty until we fix education. And that's not going to happen unless we look. I'll go right ahead. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless we look every kid in the eye and say, don't let people tell you about your family or your zip code or your economic situation and somehow that constrains what you can do educationally. I want to look each one of you in the eye and tell you, I know this, you are capable of greatness. It's a question of what's inside of you and how hard you want to work. Those are the two things. You know what's inside of you. Now you've got to decide how hard you want to work. You know, when I hear people say, oh, don't give homework and stuff like that, let me tell you, in China, in India, in Korea, in Europe, they're giving homework. Those people want to compete. They want to be the best. And our future, America's future. Public housing. We got people from Astoria here. There you go. Let's hear it. And I lived in public housing, in the Woodside houses, right on Northern Boulevard and 50th Street. See, my father never made it out of high school. He went to high school in the Bronx, had to quit during the Great Depression. No one in my family
had ever been to college. And I knew what it was like to be a kid who enjoyed sports, who had a girlfriend, and thought getting around to my homework and schoolwork probably wasn't that important. And I had a physics teacher named Sidney Harris, who told me, he said, "You don't understand something. You have the ability to go on and do incredible things in life, but if you coast, it won't happen." And he said, "I want to challenge you." He said, "Because I think you don't have the ability. You didn't go to a prep school. Your family didn't take you to colleges when you were a kid. They don't know what college is about. People in your family didn't read." He said, "I want to spend 3 afternoons a week for an hour with you, teaching you Einstein's special theory of relativity." And that changed my life. And because of Sidney Harris, I spent the next summer without my girlfriend, broke my heart, and singing all summer long, "See you in September, see you when the summer's done." I spent the summer at a National Science Foundation program studying physics. Because of that, I applied to Columbia College. True story. I got into Columbia, I got a full scholarship. I went up to Columbia with my father. My father was a postman. We sat down with the dean, he was my advisor. Everybody in the freshman class had an advisor. I was one of the dean's advisors, just my good luck, I guess. And the dean looked at me and said, "It's great, Mr. Klein." He said, "Kid like you, grew up in public housing, nobody went to college." He said, "For you to come to Columbia is a great thing." He said, "And you ought to really work hard and try to succeed." He said, "And you know what? If you graduate in the middle of your class, that'll be a great thing." Without missing a beat, I looked him right in the eye and I said, "Well, Dean," I said, "my teachers at Bryant High School, they didn't send me here to graduate in the middle of the class. They sent me here to graduate at the top of the class." I said, 4 years from now, we come back, we'll have that discussion. Well, I'm proud to tell you, I graduated at the top of my class. I went on to Harvard Law School. I've had the most incredible life. For a guy who started in public housing, I ended up working in the most public house in America, the White House under Bill Clinton. My office was right next door to Hillary Clinton's office and right down the hall from President Clinton's office. That can happen, but you've got to make it happen. I'm so proud you're here today. I'm so proud of this program. I'm so proud to support it. And I want to promise you something. When you come to collect those checks after you get all those great AP grades, I'm going to be there not only to hand them out, but to help you spend them. Thank you for being involved.